Let's face that down. I gotta slide you over, but we'll take a look. Slide me off. It doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna hit recording. No, we're gonna start recording on audio. Here we go. Record.
Recording in progress.
There we go. We're recording. Welcome everybody to our podcast tonight. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and I'm gonna get a little bit more Super Nash here. I wonder if I can get it bigger.
Get a little bit more Super Nash.
Yeah. I think I can. Well, that's pretty much it. So we gotta have some of me in there.
Cheers, Stephen, Ricky.
Wow, decent. All right, let me check to make sure the YouTube's working. Let's dump this off. I got a Glen. Where did that
So
mic?
you had your Fort Nelson that we bottled.
Yeah, I have it. Right there. Look at how much it's gone.
2023.
Yeah, it's the 2023.
What is that? What we're breaking down? Barrel bottle breakdown.
Yeah, you didn't find the Bombergers, did you? Yes, no. Did you find that Bombergers?
No,
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I mean I got a Bombergers, but it's not this year's. All different.
All right, let's see what we're doing for YouTube. Welcome everybody on YouTube. We're live. It says we're live. There we are.
We live.
Let's make sure the sound is good.
We live.
Yep, the sound is there.
Welcome. We're just getting things started here. Already done sharing to the groups. And tonight we are doing the epic Michter's Distillery.
All right, real quick, I'm going to welcome everybody to the YouTube podcast. Leave where you're from, what you're sipping on, and become a member and leave super chats if you want us to read them. There we go. There's the welcome one. We're right there. We're running. Let's see. All right. Welcome, everybody. It's the Michters. We're going to get started right at 8:30. We got a... Oh, God. Come on. All right. We've got a really organized podcast tonight. My Super Nash, now I just got to get everything ready here. I got to pull down this dumb shirt. Let's go. There we go. I think that's working. I'm looking over there. Let's put the hat on right. Get the glasses on right. Yeah, that's looking perfect. You're looking perfect. Everybody's looking perfect. And so we're ready to go. We're on YouTube. We're almost ready to start recording. I'm going to do the sponsors. We'll start off with Middle West Spirits in Columbus, Ohio. If you haven't been there, get there. A brand new 72,000 square foot distillery there. And they are in the process. Their second stage. We were at the Ohio Craft Distillery Festival this year in Delaware, Ohio. And they had part 2 coming out. The distillery's been open for about, oh, come on. Why does it do that? All right. It's been open for about 2 years now. It's March, and they started distilling March of 2024, and it's been fantastic ride. Ryan has been doing great things there, but they have their Middle West Miquelon brand where they have their pumpernickel rye, their wheated 4-grain bourbon, and their wheat whiskey, and it is all available on the shelf right now, cask strength. And I'm telling you, this is some fantastic whiskey. The wheat whiskey is fantastic, but that 4-grain wheated rye and that pumpernickel rye. You know, Tiny's not a big, huge fan of pumpernickel rye, but this Middle West Spirits pumpernickel rye is fantastic. So if you're in the Columbus area, they still have their craft distillery. Stop by for a tour and a tasting and eat at their fantastic service bar. But we can't wait till all the restaurants in the park phase 2 starts to kick in. That campus is they are making a lot of whiskey at the new distillery. Middle West Spirits, Columbus, Ohio. When you're there, tell them that Tiny and Super Nash sent you. All right. We've also got the Spirit of French Lick in French Lick, Indiana. They have been putting out whiskey since 2015. Alan Bishop was their original distiller, and all of his whiskey's still there, and they're still releasing it. You got to get to the Spirit of French Lick in French Lick, Indiana. Get their line is fantastic. We're going to be doing a podcast about the line soon, but they still have their Maddie Glad and their Lillian. This is the Lillian Sinclair that they released. This is rare and not available. It was only one of 3 barrels, but only 2 barrels had French oak stave dropped in, and we picked the better of the 2. So the Spirit of French Lick. They also have their William Dalton, which is a fantastic wheated 4-grain wheated bourbon. They have their Lee W. Sinclair, their high rye 4-grain bourbon, and they also have their Solomon Scott rye, all fantastic. The Spirit of French Lick in French Lick, Indiana, and if you stop in at the French Lick Winery and Distillery, make sure you let them know Tiny and Super Nash sent you. Told you all about it. And then we have where I was before when I went to Florida, a Whiskey Thief Distilling Company. Whiskey Thief is doing fantastic. I mean, their distilling team of Kelly Tennille, Lisa Roper Wicker, and Ben Eves is fantastic. They are killing it. Their whiskey's great. The experience is great. Whether you go to the farm, the Three Boys Farm at the Whiskey Thief the Whiskey Thief Distillery there in Frankfurt, or you go to the tasting room there in New Lou area of Louisville. And either way, it's a barrel pick all day, every day. That you could get to choose from 5 barrels. You taste from each one. It's thieved right into your tasting glass. And if you like one, you could bottle it yourself, thieve it right into the bottle. That's what I did with this one. They have some fantastic whiskey. When we were there, we ended up getting 375s from 3 of the 5 barrels. There was a 9-year bourbon. There was a 7-year wheated bourbon, and then there was a 7-year regular bourbon. And Roxy was just like excited about the 7-year regular bourbon. So we ended up with all 3 coming home, and we will be doing a specific Whiskey Thief podcast. But last Thursday, which is a week ago, last Friday, nope. 2 weeks ago on Friday, we were there, and you should check out that podcast. Lisa and Walter Zausch was there. We just had a great time. We went there, checked it out, and we weren't even sure if we were going to podcast. And all of a sudden, we podcasted. Fantastic podcast. So make sure you check out that Whiskey Thief podcast, and you go to one of the 2 locations of Whiskey Thief and just tell them the Scotchy Bourbon Boys sent you. And if there's a chance, you might see CT there, because I swear to God, between Old Louisville Whiskey Company and Whiskey Thief, he is pretty much living down there every weekend. So check out our sponsors. And the last but not least, Alan Bishop, who is now at Old Homestead Distillery, getting everything set up with his special Black Forest spirits that he's got going, and then also all the whiskey that he's distilling. But he also has the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute on YouTube. You got to check it out. If you have any questions about distilling, Alan Bishop's One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute can get those questions answered. Just a wealth of knowledge. And then also my favorite, if you have Ghosts, You Have Everything podcast, where he combines the best of both the spirits industry and the spiritual world and combines them in one. You got to check out If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. All right, so I got that all out of the way. So we're going to get going. You ready to go, Super Nash?
Absolutely. Yeah, I had to go get a pad.
Yeah.
For barrel bottle break.
That kind of pad? I thought you were getting the other kind of pad and you're going to put it on your seat. There we go.
Not needed.
I'm making sure. I don't know why it seems. All right. Everything's. That's working. Both. Nope. Hold on. I got to make sure. My microphone, your microphone. This is ready to go. So what you're going to do is we'll have a 30-second brief break. And then we're going to get into the theme song and we'll get this podcast started.
Let's get started.
Drinking bourbon, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, but it's sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, we talk some shit, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon boys, raising hell and making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon boys, we're here to have fun and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun.
Yeah, all right, here we are. All right, let's see if I can get it. Yeah, woo! Welcome back, everybody, to another great podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tiny here with Super Nash is in the house.
Feeling much better.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I gotta just do something with my lighting.
All right. Yeah. Do what you got. I'll get this started. Welcome to this podcast. This podcast is going to be a podcast of all podcasts. I just keep getting better at this. I'm just saying. But we got the outline tonight. We've got the Michter's Journey. And we've got the special, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to do the Old Louisville barrel bottle breakdown of our Bottle Your Own single barrel from 2023. And Super Nash, I thought maybe we might have tasted through this at one point, but don't think we did on the podcast because Super Nash's Michter's is not open. Maybe we'll do 2 barrel bashes. What do you think, huh?
I got the seal ready to go. I just hadn't opened it.
Right. We are going to be talking about the incredible journey of Michter's, why in 2026 it's the most respected whiskey brands in the world. And one of the cool things is that I had been with the bottle that we were just talking about, Super Nash. And first, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Glencairn t-shirts, polos, check it out. Check out the website, order directly through me, either way. And then also make sure that you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, and now we're talking TikTok along with Patreon. But and also listen to us on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Please make sure that you check us out. And if you listen to us or watch us, make sure that you become a member. So, subscribing is one thing. Become a member. Everything that the support that we get, and it's just starting out. On YouTube, you could super chat us. You can become a member. On Facebook, you could become a member. Just go there, check it, see what it offers. As the membership starts to grow, if we get some higher up on Patreon or whatever, some higher up members, we will definitely reward you for what's happening. And then also make sure that, like on Apple and iHeart, you leave good feedback, 5-star reviews. Just, if you write a review, it helps us out. Honestly, you can write a review every year, so that also helps out. So help us out on social media. Thank you, everybody, all our listeners. We love you guys. We love everything that's been happening, and we do this because it's a blast, but we do it because of all of the people that we met. We do it for you. If you haven't met us, make sure that you watch us on Facebook, comment, find out where we're going to be. We want to basically hang out. That's oh wow, choke on your own spit. That's why we're here, right, Super Nash? We just love the bourbon lifestyle. No, I thought you were finished.
Tim, I was trying to comment back to Matt Lison, but I click on his comment, and my whole screen goes white.
I guess
I have to keep restarting my Facebook. I don't know.
Don't click on his comment. Just comment, and then it'll go down. You just throw it in there. He'll get it. You don't actually have to reply to him direct.
It's working now.
Oh, okay. You got it working. Yeah. All right. So this podcast, one of the cool
Technical difficulties for me.
when you're talking about 2026, we've already started the Michter's awesomeness of 2026. When me and Roxy were headed down, and this is one of the reasons why I have no problem tonight doing this special bottle, that when we did our Michter's podcast and Super Nash fell on his ass, and Dan McKee will never let him live that down. He fell off the chair in that podcast and held up his. He went to sit down. The chair pulled out. He fell on his ass, but he did not spill a drop of. I believe there was. I want to say Bombergers in there, right? At the time,
Michter's barrel strength.
Okay, there you go.
Michter's barrel strength.
Okay, so there you go, and that was what was in the. It's so funny. I have no idea where the comments go, but there's just we're having a good night when all the comments start flying and they're just getting cut off all the way. Thomas Anderson is on YouTube. Good to see you guys. He says hi, Super Nash. So down when we went down that first time, it was pretty crazy going down that first time, wouldn't you say? We ended up at Fort Nelson. We got to do bottle your own. Had a went up to the bar, which the bar is amazing in itself. If you ever get to Fort Nelson, you want to schedule yourself upstairs for the bar experience, because they have fantastic pours, and a lot of times you run into a lot of people. You've run into people at the bar. We've run into people at the bar. It's just a good time at the Fort Nelson. But me and Roxy, on our way down, we met Dan McKee and it was just to meet as friends. And Dan is such a great guy. He's a great master distiller. He also him and
Super guy.
Andrea Wilson are fantastic people, and we're all about whiskey and the brand. And this brand right now is, I believe, at its peak, but they're starting to produce, they produced, they were very, what would you say? They are very much into the whiskey, as far as maturation. They do things differently. They, we're never looking to find out what their mash bill is, whatever. They just produce really good whiskey, sour mash whiskey, American whiskey. They're, as a distillery, already doing all the things. They do produce bourbon and rye, but they're doing all the things, wouldn't you say, that make whiskey fantastic, like of what the older distillers were doing. They might have a bourbon mash
Best
bill.
things,
Go ahead.
the best things about Dan and Andrea is that if it's not up to their taste palate and what they think it should be tasting like, they will not release it. Just for an example, here, the Michter's 10-year bourbon, here just a couple of years ago, all the barrels that they were tasting didn't meet their expectations. And so they didn't release a Michter's 10-year bourbon. I believe it was in 2023. Just for that very, very fact that if it's not meeting their expectations in the taste profile that they're looking for and working hard to get and achieve, then they won't release it. And that's the best thing about it.
Right.
And that's for all their staples of bourbon and rye that they do.
Tonight, I just saw a release. Dan McKee did a short, and he talked about sour mash, their sour mash whiskey, and it's all about putting the last part of the last batch back into the batch you're making. That's how it becomes a sour mash. But it also, he talked about that the balance of that sour mash whiskey is amazing, because none of it, there's no 50% corn, there's no 50% rye, and there's no 50% barley. It's an equal balance. And how they go about doing things, in the end, it's how does it taste, right? Isn't that what it comes down to? We all love the process, but that's not that. We like to get that information, but if the whiskey's tasting good, you don't absolutely need it. Correct, Super Nash?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just because you know what goes into it is, it doesn't make a difference on what you're tasting and drinking.
Yeah, so tonight we're going to be covering the historic Pennsylvania roots, the distillery's collapse in starting in the 1970s, leading all the way up to 1990, and then the Kentucky rebirth, and why the collectors are chasing every bottles and all the bottles. I mean, out of this, I've never had so much information on a podcast in front of me in my whole life. I mean, this is going to be fun, Super Nash. I mean, ChatGPT tonight was coming up with questions just for you, because I'll call it she, because that's the voice I use. But she was coming up with questions where she's like, and you can ask Super Nash, because now that it's established that this is our podcast, she knows who's on when I put it up there, and we'll research all the stuff that's happening. So all of a sudden I'm asking questions, and it's just putting it to the podcast format. I was just like, I'm amazed at how this is working and how much fun it's going to be. I mean,
You need to work on AI on the picture that you did, the live picture of us handing the bottle.
Yeah.
That doesn't look nothing like me.
Well, just so you know, I thought our faces are a bit bizarre, okay? But I'm telling you,
distorted.
but they really did a good job with
She
your.
did buff me up a little bit. I'll
Yeah,
tell you what, she
that-
did buff me up a
yeah.
little bit.
And when I was looking at it, and I'm like, Nash will appreciate that. So I
I
went with
did.
it.
That was the first thing I noticed.
You're
The
looking
first
really.
thing Sherry noticed, because we were sitting at dinner when I looked at it, you know, and Marty, and showed them to. It's like, oh my God, that don't look anything like you.
It looks a little
All I
bit
could think
like
of,
you,
no,
but it's got
I look buff.
some.
I said that looks like my body back in the 20s when I was in my 20s.
Yeah, because we still are in the 20s right now, the roaring 20s, right? All right.
That's right.
So the thing about Michter's it is now in its current state, it's not the oldest distillery, but it may be one of America's oldest whiskey brands. I mean, um, the lineage traces back to 1753 in Pennsylvania when a distillery known as Shank's was founded by Swiss Mennonite farmer John Shank. That means Michter's roots actually go back 23 years before the United States was founded in 1776. Now that's a decent, right? Because I believe even
That's a little
Jacob
interesting fact.
Beam was 1790, right? So I mean, it's kind of like pretty cool, you know? And so when people say Michter's has history, they're not kidding. The whiskey story started before America existed. Then, all right, this is not okay. So I have the most legendary. I got this. What people? I want the early history because there we go. The early history of Michter's. There it is. At first, the distillery produced rye whiskey, which was the dominant spirit in colonial America. Rye grain grew well in Pennsylvania. It was easier to distill than other grains, and it became the preferred whiskey of early American settlers. Legends say soldiers from George Washington's Continental Army stopped at the distillery during the Revolutionary War. That's pretty cool, right? I mean, think about that.
Considering that they had rations of George Washington's hard cider, packing it on them too, and then being able to stop at the distillery too
Yeah,
during their marches. That's cool.
that's cool. And then in the 1800s, ownership of the distillery changed. The property was purchased by the Baumberger family, and the distillery became known as Baumberger's Distillery. During this era, it grew into one of the most respected Pennsylvania whiskey producers. Pennsylvania rye was extremely popular in the 1800s and competed heavily with Kentucky bourbon. The distillery survived several major changes: the Civil War, the industrialization of whiskey production, and changing American drinking habits. But then in 1920 to 1933, when Prohibition in the United States began in 1920, Baumberger's distillery closed like most others. However, after Prohibition ended in 1933, the distillery reopened and resumed whiskey productions. In the 40s and the 50s, the birth of the Michter's name. In 1950, the distillery was renamed Michter's Distillery. The name came from the owner's sons of one of the owners, Michael and Peter. They mixed Michael and Peter together to come up with Michter's. During this period, the brand became known for sour mash whiskey and traditional Pennsylvania rye styles. And then in the 60s and the 70s, the industry began to struggle. Several major trends hurt distilleries like Michter's. Vodka became extremely popular. Whiskey consumption dropped dramatically. Many smaller distilleries could not compete with the major brands. Production slowed significantly, and ownership changed hands several times. In the 1970s, the distillery was in serious financial trouble. Costs were rising, the whiskey sales were failing. The historic Pennsylvania distillery struggled to stay open. And then in 1989, 1990, it finally shut down. Now, this is the turning point right here, where the distillery ultimately closed permanently in 1990. The Michter's brand went bankrupt. Barrels of aging whiskey were sold off to pay creditors. The buildings of the historic Pennsylvania site were eventually abandoned and deteriorated. For a time, it looked like the 250-year story of Michter's was finally over. It's okay. So now we're going to stop. That's the history of it in Pennsylvania, right? Which is a cool history. Now, here we go. I'm looking for that. I'm going to look for irony podcast time. All right. So, did you ever, when you were before you met up Super Nash, did you were able to get? Let's talk about that Michter's that we opened up with Dan and Andrea at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival.
Talk about it.
Well, you can have a sip. Now that was special, wouldn't you say?
I have to have a sip. I have to, because I was able to acquire this and the box. I got the box up there in pristine condition. And as we see, Dan signed it up here and signed his name there. But on the back of it is what Andrea wrote to me on the bottom.
You should read that.
And I'll just read it. Yep, they're good ships and wood ships and ships that sail the seas. But the best ships are the friendships, and may they always be. And then Andrea Wilson. Yeah, it was this bottle was unopened. The tack strip was completely intact. And Dan, he signed it. It's all about the whiskey, and then Dan McKee.
Yeah.
I brought this up to Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and we actually opened it up. And when we did, the cork broke. So I was able to take some, actually, I didn't have any toothpicks or anything, but we actually, because it was one solid piece, we pushed the cork down in there, and then we poured a sample each into the cups. Dan said that at that moment, after we got through tasting it, that was some of the most special whiskey that's ever been shared with him. And Andrea said that, and that was one of the most memorable moments, during all the years that he's been in there in the industry. Andrea said when she tasted it, she could not believe how good and well preserved all the flavors were of it, and that it was nothing like they were producing now. And she was really glad that, like I say, that we were able to share samples with her and all that. But yeah, it was some of the best that she had tried too.
Well, I wish that going forward that we are able to share some with Joe Magliocco, the current owner and the man responsible for resurrecting the actual distillery for today. And it's crazy that brand, which struggled, in the 70s and the 80s, they had their when you go to the bar, the King Tut decanters are there. And I got to through Matt, oh my gosh, why Mayer, that when he was part of the podcast, I got to taste some of the Michters from that King Tut decanter, which was really cool. And now you're
so good.
You're sipping out of that, and it's almost like moonshine. You got it in a sealed.
No, this is nothing like moonshine. Those flavors are still so preserved.
So what was the year that
the color on that?
What was the year?
Look at that.
What was the year of that?
1970. This was a 1976 pot jug.
Yeah.
So quarter pint.
So it's what they were doing.
Pint.
And it's just this brand, we know a lot of people, but Dan and Andrea are so fantastic, and to any we look forward to when we spend time with them. And on the way down to Florida, I got to spend time with some of them. Like I got to spend time with Mark Carter and Christy Atkinson. I got to spend time with uh, Walter and Lisa, and then also with Dan the next day. Dan McKee, we met him there for we just met at Michter's for a couple drinks, and then we are gonna go to lunch and just have lunch, and then out of nowhere he's like, I got something for you guys. And I'm like, Dan, this is just, you don't. And he's like, no, I want to do this. So he did another, me and Roxy got to bottle another bottle your own and bring that back. So I was super pumped for that. So the only thing that was missing was you, Super Nash. And I will tell you that 100% on our way home, we did the same thing. We stopped off in Anderson, South Carolina, and got to hang out with you for the evening. And I thank you and Sherry. I think
what a great evening it was.
it was, wasn't it not? It was like perfect.
It sure was.
Yep. We went to a great restaurant in town. The hotel we stayed at was downtown. Anderson, that little part of Anderson, South Carolina, is beautiful. Came out
Went to Sullivan's Metropolitan Grill. Fantastic food. I mean, delicious. Yeah, the chef, they got a great chef there.
And
so if you're ever in Anderson, you got to check it out.
Yes, for sure. And then so, and got to hang out with you. So I spent time with my mom and dad in Florida, and then with you and Sherry, and then who I just mentioned, and every single place I was with and among friends. And this never would have happened. None of this.
And we after the restaurant, then we got to come back here and sit around the barrel table here and just talk and enjoy. And you got to enjoy a bunch of great different pours, didn't you?
Yeah, they were wonderful different pours. And but I will tell you that this Michter's collection and Michter's and everything, and how we started in Michter's before we even knew Dan and Andrea, and then that first podcast with Dan McKee at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and he came in, it was hot, we had the fans blowing. He's kind of comes over, didn't really know what to expect, doesn't like to podcast all the time, and all of a sudden he's like, you guys just kind of like hang out and have just hang out like friends. And we're like, yeah. And he's like, and you ask me questions that are pertinent to just the history of bourbon and everything, but not anything like trying to find something out. And I'm like, we're not trying to find anything out. So, I really enjoyed that podcast. He enjoyed it. And, we missed him this year at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, but he was upset about it. We got to talk to him for a second.
I know, because he's made it a yearly thing for like the last 3 years.
Yep. So there's, it's funny because it's already.
Time it came on, he just seemed like he was just that much more comfortable and all.
Yes.
During the podcast and hanging out, just like you said, just hanging out like friends.
And when we went to lunch this time, we got to really know him, kind of how we got in, everything that he was asking me and Roxy about what we, it was just exactly what friends do. And we consider Dan a super friend. And I mean, we consider him, but he does have a direct correlation with making some of the, in my opinion, the best whiskey around. Right? Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that.
All right. So
I was just looking at this tax stamp on this pot jug from the state of Maryland. It doesn't have the amount.
So this is, now we're at this point. Joe Magliocco, he leads a group to buy the brand and slowly rebuild it. And they made the decision to rebuild it in Kentucky, not Pennsylvania. And the reason why they did it is because they felt that that Pennsylvania, the one place bourbon still was coming back from in the 90s, was Kentucky. Kentucky was able to maintain still making most of the bourbon, so he moved it back to Shively. But as they said, Michter's didn't just come back, it came back from the dead. Now, one of the cool things about the interim is what they call the lost, I got it right here. If I most don't know about, where is that? There is one more here called the Lost Barrel. There it is. So the last barrels of Michter's, when it went bankrupt in 1990, the historic Pennsylvania Michter's Distillery was in serious financial trouble. The American whiskey industry had been struggling for decades. Consumers had shifted towards vodka, light spirits, imported liquors. Sales of traditional American whiskey dropped dramatically. The distillery finally filed for bankruptcy in '89. Now, in 1990, the Schaeferston Distillery stopped operating completely. When the company collapsed, hundreds of barrels of aging whiskey were still in the warehouses. These barrels were considered assets in the bankruptcy. So the courts ordered them sold to pay off creditors. The auction of the whiskey, the remaining barrels were purchased by a group of investors who recognized something important. The whiskey was exceptionally old and rare. Some barrels had been aging for 20 years or more. The whiskey eventually made its way into the hands of independent bottlers and collectors. For years afterwards, bottles labeled original Michters would occasionally appear on the secondary market. After the bankruptcy, the buildings were abandoned. The equipment sat unused. The property slowly deteriorated. The historic distillery eventually became a decaying relic of early American whiskey history. For a time, it looked like the brand might disappear forever. Even though the distillery was gone, Michter's name still had enormous historical value, and in the mid-1990s, Joe Magliocco led a group and acquired the Michter's trademark. Instead of rebuilding in Pennsylvania, they made a major decision. They would rebuild Michter's in Kentucky, the center of the bourbon world. Magliocco partnered with legendary master distiller Dick Newman, who had decades of experience at Brown-Forman. Their philosophy was simple: make small batches of extremely high-quality whiskey. They launched the modern Michter's brand in the late 1990s with the U.S. number one line. So when you think about that, right, Super Nash, the barrels, and so have you ever seen the original Michter's barrels?
Original Michters? No, I've
Something
never seen one.
you should search for that. I wonder what that was like, right?
Yeah,
Those are the last barrels.
absolutely.
And then
I can
so
only imagine what it tastes like too.
oh yeah, I mean crazy. So after
Speaking of US one,
Mhm.
on all the tops of their bottles, they have the US one on it.
Yes, they do. All right, so there we go. I mean, now it's one, the brand, they've worked it up with that philosophy. After Dick Newman left, I believe that's when I believe actually, so we know that that Dan was where he was before. I believe he was at Jim Beam, if I'm not mistaken, and then got the job at Michter's and worked under Dick for a while. And then eventually, when Dick retired, he became the master distiller, correct?
Correct.
I mean, come on. It's like, when has a podcast ever been where I'm rattling off stuff and you're agreeing with me? Usually at this point is where you pull out your paper and you override me.
If I'm not mistaken, and Andrea and Dan talked with us on the podcast about this. I believe Andrea has been there like 2 years longer than what Dan has been.
Should I ask chat or Meta? Let's see if I can get Meta. Hey Meta, are you there? I have a question. Dan McKee is the master distiller of Michter's, and hey Meta, I have a question. Dan McKee and is the master distiller of Michter's, and Andrea Wilson is their master of maturation. Who was there longer? Did you hear that? Okay, so
I couldn't hear. I could hear barely.
okay, so Dan started after 9 years at Jim Beam, started in 2013 at Michter's, and Andrea came from Diageo and she started in 2014. According to Meta. Sometimes
I knew it was one or the other.
I
I
mean,
was thinking that Andrea been there a little bit longer, but
there you go. There you go. All right, so I'm going to put these out of the way because we got that covered, right? No, we don't. All right, so the history, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Okay, that's the old history. I can actually turn that off. All right, we got that. We got the facts. The five most awesome facts. All right. And then we got 4 moments that saved. All right. So let's at this point right now, we'll take it and do you want to do the old Louisville barrel bottle breakdown? What do you want to break down? I mean, we have all this good stuff. One thing, do you have this sour mash from the UK yourself?
nope. As a matter of fact, the bottle I just opened is 2019.
But is it a sour mash?
It's the limited edition toasted barrel sour mash whiskey.
Okay, so let's just compare. Let's talk about
What year is yours? Look up here on the neck label. It'll say batch number, and it starts off with 2 numbers. Like mine's 19H1289 or something like that. What's your first 2 numbers on the batch number?
L19.
Yours is a 2019 too.
H1261. Or 147261. What's yours? What's after your 9? 19.
1249.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna pour some in a glass because this one's
What
better.
we're going to break down, because
We won't break this down.
that's a good thing, because that's what I wrote on the pad.
What?
Toasted barrel sour mash whiskey.
Oh, right. We're gonna okay. So it's time for the old Louisville Whiskey Company
Whiskey.
barrel bottle breakdown. At old Louisville, you got to go see Amin. Think he's in his new place in Shively because I saw Soup CT sitting on the couch. But go to the website, contact Amin, and he will give you one of the best bourbon experiences around. You can't go wrong. Everything's at least 7 years or older at the old Louisville Whiskey Company in Shively and Louisville, Kentucky. All right. So let's put that baby back. We get this. This is going to be exciting because you gave this to me in like 2020. This was like the first real gift you've given me. I was shocked that you gave me this.
I had acquired like 9 bottles that year. In 2019, I went to two different liquor stores here in Anderson, and both of them they didn't know what they had, really. And I bought all 3 bottles, and it come in a 3-pack box, and I bought them all for $50 each.
Man, that's
Basically, like the next year or so, they jumped up to 100, and now I think they're somewhere around $200 on second
well. These
for
are
a
the
bottle of this. And I've only got like 3 bottles left in the bunker. I was just looking at that today when I pulled out this, where we did the bottle your own. And I was counting how many sour mash whiskeys I had, how many toasted barrel ryes, and how many bourbons. I've got like 4, I think 4 or 5 bottles of the toasted barrel bourbon. I like the toasted barrel bourbon.
I don't have any because
Which-
that's
one of
almost
my favorites.
impossible to get around here. We never see the toasted barrel anything from there. Did you know, with that said, okay, there's a couple things about Michter's that I've come to know. For one, when you buy their barrel strength, you are talking about 110, 111 proof. So what does that tell you? As an expert of bourbon, or whatever the hell we are as bourbon stewards, it tells me the same thing it tells me about what Alan Bishop does, is that the entry proof is low. So that's one thing that I was able to get on one of the facts that Michter's uses one of the lowest barrel entry proofs in bourbon. Most distilleries put whiskey into barrels at 125 or around proof, because 125 is the highest, which is the maximum for bourbon. But Michter's typically enters barrels at 103 proof. That means there's more barrel influence, richer flavor extraction, more expensive production, because of the fact that they add the water before it goes. It's a 103 proof. I don't know what it comes off the still at, but it is going in at 103. So when it goes up to 110, you're not going to get your barrel strengths of Michter's around, the 120 or 130. You're going to get it at the 110 or 111 mark. I don't know. I do think, what is the one? I believe the barrel that we actually did here. Let me see.
109.2, because that's just what I was looking at.
Yeah.
109.2.
It's the same. I think it was 112. The one that me and Roxy did, it was a little higher, but not much. And that's one thing that they do. So because it takes more whiskey to fill the same barrel, right? Yeah. So
Barrel bottle breaking that one down too.
Michter's literally sacrifices profit to improve flavors.
Absolutely right. And that's the one that Dan and Andrew both stress to us all the time when they talk with us, is that they sacrifice profits to bring you a better whiskey or bourbon.
So just for everybody to know, and you meet Andrea, we the first time we met Andrea, we were at Michter's, and she was in a scrubs, like in a white jacket. Remember that? After we did the podcast, we went back by Andrea, and then Joe was back there too.
Hairnet and scrubs.
Yep. So that was really
like a
doctor,
like a scientist.
The white, like a scientist, or they were doing
or doctors,
right? So Dan is the master distiller. Andrea is the master of maturation. They are one of the most respected whiskey making teams in the world. Andrea is also one of the most influential women's in American whiskey. So now when you're talking about ChatGPT, they really have a really good outlook based off of ChatGPT PT. And off the, you know, they're well known. And Andrea, when it comes to maturation, she's like on it. She's scientific. I mean, they really pull and know their stuff. So, all right. So, are you ready to do this one? So, what do you get on the nose?
Absolutely. Buttered toast.
I get that. I get like and cherry. Cherry is really there. It's a cherry bomb.
Yes.
Oh, that smells so good.
Almost like a hot, buttery maple waffle. You know, maple syrup waffle. And that cherry is really popping.
It sure does. But I do get what you're talking about with that maple toast maple kind of thing. That's at the top, but the cherry is just so
Down at the bottom. Yeah.
it's like that one cherry candy that you eat.
Marsh-
that really dark
marshmallow?
red cherry.
A little marshmallow going on. Toasted marshmallow.
So on this one, what's your proof on this on yours?
'86 proof.
I think mine's 86 too. I want to say it is. I looked earlier today. I think this, yep, 86 proof. So we're pretty much drinking the same thing almost. This was a batch. It's not a single barrel. For a long time, you know, I thought they didn't do single barrels, but they do single barrels. The Michter's 10-year is a single barrel. And then we've pulled single barrels out, right?
Well, then, single barrel strength.
The 10 is single barrel. All the 10 years.
Yeah.
So they're so
The bottle that we barreled was a single barrel, but they have that in the bourbon, the single barrel strength. And I think I've got a bottle open sitting up there somewhere.
a single barrel. Let's see.
Barrel strength.
I have a limited release barrel strength.
That's it. Yeah.
It does not say single barrel. If it's
the same, because it came from that single barrel.
but this here here's a toasted barrel finish barrel
It's actually
strength.
got the barrel number on top on the neck label up here. Toasted barrel rye is a single barrel, isn't it?
I believe it's a finished barrel number. Let me see. Yes. So what those aren't, that's a batch, and then they batch those and put them right into a finished barrel for the toasted barrels.
They do have a single barrel bourbon though. It's single barrel strength.
This is a limited release barrel strength.
Yeah.
And then the 10-year says single barrel right on it, and so does like the Michter, and then you see the small batch there too. Okay. Anyways, and they make very, very small batches. That's one thing that they're proud of. Right?
Their small batch was what, like 20 barrels.
Should I ask?
Ask Meta.
Hey, Meta. When Michter's releases a small batch, how many barrels do they generally use in their small batch bourbons?
Whiskey.
They typically use 20 barrels in their batches.
That's what I said. That's what I thought.
Yep, that's pretty
I
good.
was thinking I remember that correctly from what Dan told us.
So it's an 86 proof. On the side, it's doing this. It did this. I mean, it actually has decent legs for an 86 proof. It sticks, right?
It's very sugary. Look at that. How long it's taken to develop. Jeez.
All right. I need to finish it off. This is a bottle kill, folks. Thank you, Super Nash. That I've had this bottle since
Welcome, bro.
2020. It's 6 years, and it's like the last pour really hung in there. So yeah, it's like that's a special bottle to me. It's good that I did this with
You
you.
ready to rate this puppy?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Couple news.
Our Old Louisville barrel bottle break is based off of 4 categories: the nose, aroma, the body, the taste, and the finish. The nose and the body, you can give up to 4 barrel knocks on the barrel, and the taste and the finish, you can get up to 5. But if one of the categories is exceptional, you could give it a butt up, right?
Up, bump.
But up. Yeah, I've had a half a pour, ladies and gentlemen, and it's working. All right, so Super Nash, you should go first on this one.
I think it has an exceptional nose on it. Very sweet. There's a lot going on.
I picked up a little black licorice.
I loved it. I love the aromas, the cherry, the maple, the toasted marshmallow.
What are you going to give it?
Put a 3. The best I've smelled, but I'm going to give it a 3. It's pretty good.
You gave it a 3. Based off the nose, I really enjoy this nose. There's a smoky toastedness that came off the bottom of the bot.
I'm getting like that toasted marshmallow.
I think I contemplated a butt up, so I'm going to do a 4.
Where he says,
What?
I got you. I got you written down as a 4.
All right, body. Nice legs, but not the thickest legs, so it's a medium type thing. And then at 86 proof, it's not going to have quite the body of, everything. It really does not. It hits the roof of your mouth, mid palate on your tongue, really stays on the roof of your mouth, and a little bit under. But I will say, it's a very average body. So I'm going to give it a 2.
Velvety.
Oh, it has a nice mouthfeel. I'll give you that.
I think I have to agree with you. That body is, it's really light.
Yeah. So you
Didn't quite coat the full mouth. Like,
so you're gonna give it a 2 also?
I give it a 2 also.
Hey, someone said God told them to tell him that God loves me and you. That's awesome. That's much better than some of the other comments on YouTube.
Huh.
All right, so you go next on the taste, my friend. What is the tasting notes for you on this?
Very toasted marshmallows there too. Just a slight little bit of like honey. Maple or honey sweetness is there.
I really think it's got a
So
bourbon.
good.
There's a little bit of pepper. I mean, you're
Mm.
talking very
I just want
unique.
to say maybe just
Go ahead.
a little bit of a slight little bit of clove.
I'll give you that.
Is close to like licorice flavor. Give it a 4.
A 4 out of 5. All right. I am going to, let's see. I get, this reminds me of a really, really complex old tub. Like you could, this is something that if you were, this is a perfect bottle to do while you're doing something, like if you were doing hanging out with a couple of guys and you got everybody came over to you were gonna, I don't know, hang out by the fireplace, but maybe play cornhole or have bocce ball if you were doing something else, besides. This would be a great bourbon to drink right out on the deck while you're doing something, grilling.
Correct you. It's not a bourbon. It's a whiskey.
Okay.
Sour mash whiskey.
Sour mash whiskey is a good it would be a good drinker with complexity, right? There's something to think about, but it still goes down super. So I think it's the strong points.
You should mention bocce ball. It's been a long time since I played that, and I used to play it every summer. We'd have a bocce ball set down there at the condos, and every year I'd wear the kids out.
I wouldn't play jarts with this. But how about this? As far as the Olympic sport, this would be great to be sipping while you're watching curling. I mean, talk about an Olympic sport that happened. If you watch the Olympics every single night, it took 2 weeks. It took the full Olympics to get the gold medal winners and everything. It was on.
It was 3 or 4 nights of curling because I watched the curling.
There was more than 3 or 4 nights. There was all the nights. I watched the curling all the nights. It was.
I didn't watch it every night.
But it was there, and it was.
I watched a lot of the curling.
I watched the men's and the women's. Got to know both American teams. They
Yep.
it's such a chess match, and it's freaking when you're watching, you need to drink
It
some
is.
bourbon to relax because it's stressful.
Telling you, I'll tell you what. Some of those shots that they make, how to make that thing curl and curve and stop just at the right place, and yeah, and like you said, it's like a chess match on ice.
Yep,
So cool.
it was very interesting.
Oh, did you catch the cheaters?
No,
The first night of the cheaters, the Canadian team, they were cheating, and they got caught double touching the curl, the
really?
hammer.
Really?
What do you call it? What do you call the stone? Curling stones?
Whatever. Yeah, puck.
They got caught cheating, double touching it.
Did they get
Not supposed to touch it.
Did they get
Yeah, touch
disqualified?
it again after. Yeah.
After they won the gold, they got their gold taken away?
They didn't win the gold in curling.
Just kidding.
Okay. All right. On to the taste. What are you going to rate this thing?
I'm going to give the taste the 4.
4.2.
I think it's the strongest part. But this bottle, when you were talking for this is a steal at the price that you paid back then.
Yeah, absolutely. $50.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think on the finish? You're up, my man.
I like the finish.
And I think you just killed it off to.
That's it. That is a bottle kill.
Let that finish.
The finish is medium to long. So for 86, there's a little bit of pepper, a little bit of oak. It's a dry finish. It pulls off a little tiny bit of honey. So out of 5, I'll give the finish a 3.
I already had that same figure in my mind as a 3 finish. So I'm going to agree with not saying anymore. Like I said, it doesn't hit you very deep. It quickly dissipates after it finishes mid palate. The flavors just aren't that long lasting, but yeah, it's a 3.
Look what's on the bottom.
I can't see the bottom. I see a sticker.
Yeah, it was a red sticker from a blind.
A blind.
So this Michter's
when we used to put the color dots on there.
We still do when we do blinds, but yeah.
Okay.
I gotta empty my garbage one of these days. All right, so there's a. Oh, all right. So
you gave it a 13. You gave it a 13, and I gave it a 12.
What? Oh yeah, because I gave it an extra one on the nose.
Yes, you did.
So we gave it a 12.5 out of 18.
Well, yep.
Which it's the toasted barrel aspect. So no, people don't. Here is some little known facts about Michters. Okay. We all know that they fill their barrels at a much lower proof. We talked about that, right? But they heat their warehouses. Many distilleries just let the seasons do the work, but Michter's warehouses are temperature controlled. In winter, they heat the warehouse, and the whiskey continues interacting with the barrel. Result: faster maturation cycles, deeper flavor extraction. And then it's part of what creates the Michter's profile. And then this is what you said, sometimes they dump entire batches. This is almost unheard of in the whiskey industry. If the barrels don't meet their standards, mixers will cancel a release entirely. Some years there has been no 10-year, as you stated, because the barrels didn't meet expectations. The quality philosophy is driven by Dan and Andrea. Did you know, Super Nash, that their toasted barrel started a trend? The modern toasted barrel craze in bourbons can largely be traced to Michter's. Their toasted barrel finishing process became incredibly popular after releases instead of a charred barrel. The barrel is toasted slowly. It caramelizes sugars in the woods, produces notes of marshmallow, chocolate, and baking spices. Today, dozens of distilleries are copying the idea. And then Michter's uses a single barrel philosophy. Even many small batch bourbons are blended from dozens of barrels. Michter's emphasized single barrel releases, single barrel blending groups, extremely selective barrel picking. This gives the whiskey handcrafted feel compared to many large distilleries. Now, the last one. This is as ChatGPT says, a great mid-show question for Super Nash. Super Nash, if you had to choose Michter's 10-year, toasted barrel, or Bombergers, which one best represents the Michter's flavor profile?
Burgers. Oh, did you say 10-year?
I said Michter's 10-year, toasted barrel, or Bombergers. Which one best represents the Michter's flavor profile?
Year.
Okay, say that again. You kind of
10-year.
10-year. All right, let's pull out our 10 years.
Hey, Michter's 10-year. Michter's 10-year represents the flavor profile of better than the other two. That would be the one.
The Michter's 10-year bourbon. This one we got is yours signed by Dan on the one, and Andrea?
Nope.
Okay, I got this from the festival 2 years ago.
I didn't get them to sign it.
This is my.
This is a 2020. This is a 2025.
And this one is you got
this is
I did not get the 2025 this year. We were talking to Dan. He thought he would be able to, but I ended up with the 2026 single barrel from the distillery. So that's better than the 10-year. Anyways, all right.
I hear you.
What was the age of our single barrel from? What was the age on that?
There's 10-year 2025 was actually like whiskey of the year for a couple of people.
Our whiskey, it was not the 2025.
Ours, it was close.
Yeah, but that was not this year, not this year's 10-year, but the year before, the 24, maybe
2024.
I want to say the 2023 10-year was the one, because no, the 2024 was the one that was almost our bourbon of the year, not the 2025.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look to see what this one is. The
numbers on the neck label.
The age?
Should be.
There was no age on this single barrel. Bottle of ours, the one that we picked. Oh, you're right.
We picked? All right. It says barrel number FM23CO92 or 97. I can't make out the last number. But the 23 is 2023, where it says FN23.
Yeah, but that's 2023, yes. But it also, how old was the barrel? Because we bottled it straight from a barrel. And it wasn't a toasted barrel, was it? Nope. Fort Nelson Reserve, barrel strength.
bourbon.
Yeah, but it has to be a single barrel because it came right from a single barrel.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna finish. So there is also here is three. So I've got myths about Michter's. They say Michter's is one of the oldest distilleries still operating, you know, but that is like you hear this claim all the time. Reality. The original Pennsylvania distillery that became Michter's shut down in 1990. The current Michter's operation in Kentucky is a modern rebirth of the brand, not a continuous operation of the original facility. What is true, the brand's historical roots trace back to 1753, making it one of the oldest whiskey brand lineages in America. The original distillery died, but the brand was reborn. Myth number 2: all Michter's whiskey is distilled at Michter's. Originally, they sourced some of the whiskey, and now their Shively Distillery in Louisville and their Fort Nelson Distillery. Today, many releases are their own distillery, but sourcing played a role in brand's early comeback. And then older whiskey is always better, and we know that. Dan and Andrea, it's not about the age, it's about the taste, right? Actually changed
Right.
Michter's actually changed this belief. Michter's Dan and Andrea often say age alone doesn't make great whiskey. Sometimes barrels that age too long become overly woody. That's why Michter's focuses on flavor maturity, not just age statement. It's also why they sometimes skip releases. And well, you've already said what it would be. So you think the 10-year represents the brand the best, right? So let's I'm going to have a little pour of this, a little half ounce. A Brad Bonds pour.
Yeah. I'll have to. This will be it for me tonight.
Yeah, and we will finish off okay. A bonus debate topic for Super Nash. Once again, asking questions. The AI is asking you questions. Super Nash. Is Michter's the most consistent premium whiskey brand in America right now?
Yes.
So,
because of their dedication to flavor profile, I would say yes, that they are the most consistent. As each time that I taste a bottle, and there are many different kinds that they have, even all the way down to like the American whiskey small batch that you have there, the US one. Every time you open up a bottle, that flavor profile is just right on point.
I've got
Turn
this
up there.
I've got this Fort Nelson Reserve that just came, you know, and they just say, but if you look,
Okay.
Can you see that?
It gets blurry in the light.
Hold on. Let me see if
The Fort Nelson Reserve.
Yeah, but it says on the box.
That's the SCS1.
It
Yeah,
says
Fort
the
Nelson
Scotchy
Reserve.
Bourbon Boys. And then on the label at the bottom, it says Tiny Number 1.
Number 1.
So I didn't remember getting the labels. I thought you just buy it, but no, they put the Scotchy Bourbon Boys on the box and Tiny Number 1 in there. So it's kind of a special bottle for me. And it says, you know, when you buy just the regular bourbon, it doesn't say Fort Nelson Select, right? So they say it's a regular bourbon, but if it's 20 barrel batches, I'm going to say that this 20 barrel batch was just specifically for the gift shop, wouldn't you?
Yeah, when it says Fort Nelson Select on it, it is only sold in the gift shop.
Right.
That
And
batch
it's
specifically for the gift shop.
right, that 20 barrel batch. So people that say, well, when they have a batch, it's just the same as what's on the shelf. No, it's not. It's a 20 barrel batch made for the distillery. So they're going to try and keep flavor profile there, but at the same time, it is those batches are small on purpose. Right?
Right,
So,
that's so that they can keep those flavor profiles right where they want them.
okay. All right, everybody.
It's much more harder to blend together 30 barrels to come up with the same profile as it is like 20 barrels and all, because you're not mixing, you know, less barrels that you mix is easier to come up with that. That's
Yeah.
my opinion.
Well, also, so the other part that the last fact I'll leave everybody with is that Michter's also still, we know a little bit of a story about, but Michter's and you, when Bombergers and Shanks was coming out, I had no idea that Michter's released that. You know what I'm saying? And they were paying homage to the the history of the brand with Bombergers and Shanks. Now we know
Yep.
that little bit of a story that we know about Stolen Wolf because the original distiller from Michter's that was distilling in the late 80s and early till the end, he basically formed a distillery with Dick Stoll where you went, and at one point I believe they called the distillery Bombergers, but after Joe paid a lot of money to have the name, they changed it to Stolen Wolf, if I'm not mistaken. And that is a fantastic, and that was created by the original master distiller, or one of the original master distillers of the original Michters. So if you want to get even into the history,
Michter's there in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
yeah, one step first.
And I wish I would have known that that free day that I had. I drove over to Hershey's. I would have and got all the chocolates for my wife. I would have much rather driven a little bit further over to the original Michter's distillery and check that out while I was there.
So
I wasn't far from it, and I didn't even know it.
one last question. I believe they pulled the pot stills from the original distillery and brought them back to Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's actually in their distillery, not working, but fixed up and just kind of there for display, if I'm not mistaken.
Display, yeah. And that's at the Fort Nelson distillery. We got to see it.
Well, the Fort Nelson distillery, when we were there, me and Roxy were there, celebrated its 50th. That still celebrated its 50th anniversary. It was 50th for the still that's there. So how long ago was 26? So the 70s is when that still was initially there. They had a big 50.
That means that still came from Pennsylvania then.
Probably. So we were there on Saturday, and Friday they had Dan was there for a big celebration for the 50. It was the 50th anniversary of that still. So we walked into the after party on Saturday.
Wow. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that was, I think actually.
This is fantastic, by the way.
Which one? The
10 year barrel.
The 10-year
bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is the 10.
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
put the 10-year.
Yeah, the 10-year.
All right. So there was 4 moments that saved Michter's. One, they opened up after Prohibition. Many distilleries never reopened. That was the Bomberg era rebuild. In the 1800s, the distillery had already changed hands and became known as Bomberger's Distillery. The Bomberger family helped expand and modernize the distillery during a period when Pennsylvania rye was booming. Without the investment and growth, the distillery might never have survived into the modern era. Today's Michter's even honors the history with an annual release of Bombergers and Shanks. And then the brand was saved after bankruptcy by Joe Magliocco. And
Yep.
instead of letting the name disappear, they made the bold decision to rebuild the brand in Kentucky. And then the quality first strategy. The first moment that saved Michter's was the philosophy adopted when rebuilding the brand. Instead of chasing volume, they focused on extreme quality and patience. They brought the legendary master distiller Dick Newman to help guide the early whiskey program. Later, the distillery's production was led by Dan and Andrea, and their approach emphasized slow maturation, selective barrel programs, canceling releases if quality wasn't perfect. The philosophy helped Michter's become one of the most respected premium brands in the world today. All right, everybody. That brings us to the end. www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Super Nash and I thank you for coming on tonight and watching us to really give a good podcast towards this brand because it deserves it. And then also remember we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. Also TikTok and Patreon, and then also Spotify, iHeart, and Apple. Whether you listen to us or you watch us, make sure leave good feedback, become members, and remember, good bourbon,
Good times
good
with
friends.
good friends.
Make sure you drink responsibly and
Drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive.
and make sure
And you live your life uncut and unfiltered.
and here we go.
Wake up, sunrise and boots on the floor, working hard all day till you can't no more. Life rolls on, but the choice is yours. How you play it out when you walk through that door. One bottle, one drink, one pour. That's what the Scotchy Bourbon Boys got in store. Tuesdays, Thursdays, come pull up a seat. We'll taste through the whiskey on the rocks and eat. Bourbon Scotch or a good old ride. Japanese, Irish, yeah, we'll tell you why. So wherever you're sipping, near or far, tune in with us from your home or your car. One bottle, one drink, one pour. That's the podcast you've been looking for.
Right. Get this baby. I don't even know who was on tonight.
Yeah, Randy came on there for a little while. He said he had a busy day just to skip ahead.
All right, I will get this shared.
John Rick, Stephen Pitzer.
Ricky Edwards.
Yeah, we had a
I didn't.
Ricky Edwards. Yeah.
I just didn't. My comments.
Stacy Pritchard was watching for a little while.
Steve was there too.
Eliza.
All right, copy link. There's the invitation copied. Control V. It's trying.
I won't staying on. I got some paperwork I gotta get done. Couple of reports I gotta get written up.
All right.
Hey,
Let's see.
lots of work, lots to do. We got
Yeah.
Sherry's birthday dinner celebration tomorrow night,
Did you wait until
Tomorrow evening.
Friday? You convinced her to do
5:30.
what? What? Well, didn't you do a birthday celebration tonight at the Mexican restaurant?
Well, we just had dinner at the Mexican restaurant, but no, her actual dinner celebration is tomorrow night at Outback Steakhouse. Her daughter, son, grandkids, father, other friends, and all that. You know, it's gonna be a bunch of us. My son. There's probably about 15 of us.
You're bringing guns?
Everybody brings all the presents. Oh yeah, I'll have mine with me. I'm a CWP, Concealed Weapons Permitter.
Yeah, we have open carry here. There we go. Anybody jumping in yet? Oh, we might not have much to jump in. Do you see it there that I posted?
There comes John.
Okay.
We have open carry.
Hamburgers.
Yeah.
Man, I want one of those. That's good stuff, John. How are you, brother?
Good. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Hanging in there and getting better every day.
Good, man. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, me too. Like I say, it's it's a world of difference.
Yeah, I believe it, man.
Even
Yeah, I didn't even realize too. Rachel noticed when she was down. She said, you know, back last year, you know, around the festival stuff like that, I was sort of pale looking.
Yeah.
And all that. She said, now, yeah, you can see the glow, all the colors back.
Yep.
you're pink
In my
as a
face
you're
and all
pink
that.
as a
The
baby.
oxygen's getting to you better.
Yeah, you're pink as a baby's bottom now.
Yeah.
You're almost as red and pink as a PFG bottle, my friend.
That's right.
I didn't even pull that bottle. I got that.
Wish I
bottle.
had another one of those.
Oh,
Yeah,
One of the best I've had.
my buddy up here that owns all the liquor stores and all that, him and his brothers. Well, they got 2 bottles, and he had them on his front seat and stopped real quick. They flew down on the floorboard and both busted on each other.
That's
So
an
his car
expensive
was
brake
smelling
job.
like bourbon for a month.
Oh,
that's
But
crazy.
yeah, he said so. When I asked about him, he said, "You're not going to believe this, but like 2 days ago, I had 2 bottles and both of them shattered."
Well,
man.
what's nuts?
I
is-
told him, I said, "You need to seatbelt them babies in."
Oh my god.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
funny.
That's rough.
Brother,
That would be rough. Major rough.
freeze, yeah.
What?
Jeff's zooming in and out.
Your picture's freezing up.
On Facebook, but it's
You're froze right now. There you go.
yeah.
There you go, Jeff.
I think
No,
Gosh.
on the Zoom.
I think my wife is on the Zoom. I could my thing's working, but my wife I think tonight was working on the internet, and it was like on the Facebook. it
Voice
just-
is going, but your picture is froze. Picture's froze.
yeah, sometimes that happens when the internet decides.
Voice is still going.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you can hear that. Isn't that all that
Yeah.
matters? How about this? Let's freeze it on that. Let's see if we can get it to freeze on that. Is that? Can you see that frozen? I'll just hold it there.
No,
Yeah.
it's what you were frozen with about 45 seconds ago.
How was it on the? How was the Zoom on Facebook? Was it Was it doing the same thing that I was noticing, kind of going blurry and then coming back?
I personally, I
That was
didn't
pretty clear.
notice it. I mean, every once in a while there's like an audio chirp, but no, it was okay.
Okay. Well, I know
Yeah, it's
Nash.
probably just bandwidth and internet use.
I didn't see Walker on tonight. Walker must be busy.
Said he was going to. He and Randy had early mornings or something. So
Okay. Yeah. I thought, how'd you like it?
I come back.
Did we get a lot of information for you? I mean, honestly, I even learned stuff today.
Michter's is that whole story behind when they were in Pennsylvania and then they just kind of basically went belly up, right? And then
Yeah.
they were resurrected when they moved it back to Kentucky. It's a great story. I mean, such as whiskey and bourbon, right? And to see where they've come from the 70s and 80s when they were like taking it to now, and they have one of the greatest products out there. I mean, none of their stuff is super high proof. I mean, and you know this better than me. I was in a class once, a master's class that just they had somebody come in, a rep, and how they put it in at a higher proof and it comes out at a lower proof, and most of their stuff is sub 100. So it's pretty cool.
100 and
Yeah, Walker was on for a little while.
100.
Oh, look, it's a Sandman.
Yep.
103 is their entrance proof. So that's a low entrance proof. Even I believe Allen's entrance proof is like 109. So it's probably one of the lowest entrance proofs in the business.
Yeah, Randy had mentioned too. He thought there was something around the 110, 115. And yeah,
Well,
Randy,
I
it's
know
the
their net proof on their celebration, their net proof is 115 to 116. But their entry proof's probably lower than that.
Wait,
yeah, the barrel
the
strength rye
entrance-
is 110.
Yeah. So they're getting one on the Century. They're just
The
getting a
110.
higher proof because it's so old. The older the whiskey, the higher the proof goes.
Right.
So that's why they get that. But
Right.
A lot more
but
water,
everything else is
water evaporation.
yeah, everything else. And there is a lot of when you're having entry level at 103, there's a lot more water in that whiskey. Just is.
All right, gentlemen, I got to jump off here and get some service reports done and a couple of invoices.
I'm doing some toilet paperwork. I mean, paperwork.
Are you Martin? Are you going down to New Orleans?
No, I can't make it. I'll be putting in a fire system. I got 2 systems sold that I gotta get that order together.
Well,
So I can
good.
order that tomorrow morning.
That's saving lives. That's much more important.
Yeah, and this restaurant, one of them's a Mexican restaurant. They got to get that in. Like I say, I'm going to do that weekend after next, as long as all the parts get in here. Hopefully by next week.
A racist would say.
And
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Feeling a lot
Good.
better, Randy. Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah. But yeah, Marty's been working his toe off for me and getting things done and knocking things out. Starting to get things caught back up a little bit now.
Well, good.
Yeah, Marty's
No,
liking
and,
he's liking it because he's working full time for Martin, and he's got money. So when we were there, he's like got all his he's like accessorizing all of his firearms. I mean, he's just like a kid in a candy store all of a sudden. His dad,
Good.
he's getting.
Did he not have a career before that?
Well, he went to school.
He's been going to college. He's still going to school now, but
Oh,
most of
okay.
it's online. He's got he's in his last semester now. He'll
But he's in a master's program or doctorate program. I don't remember. I forget which.
No, it's bachelor's.
Oh, okay.
What's bachelor's, associates?
Associates
got
and then
associates.
bachelors.
It's associates, then bachelor's, then master's, then doctorate. Yeah.
He's got 2 associates now. He's on his bachelor's.
Well, good.
Degree. And
I bet he does
grad-
feel like in the candy store.
Yeah,
'cause
he
most kids-
graduates in May.
That's
Well,
awesome.
good.
Oh yeah, he's making $200-300 a day. You know.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gets a bonus.
Just depending, you know.
He gets a bonus, like a $20, $25, $30 bonus from Sherry if Martin wears his safety glasses.
That's worth it. Good.
Yeah.
That's what I said earlier. I'm like, we got to start calling them Super Crash instead of Super Nash.
I'm telling you, man.
I mean,
it's just
for what?
Motherfuckers
crazy.
walking into
Well,
walls. and
it
shit.
happens.
Actually, the walls are walking into you, Mark.
It
Let's get
happens
that
in
right.
threes.
Yeah. Let's get it correct here.
You just finished off the trifecta, so
It's not like I'm jumping out at the walls and doors. They're jumping out at me.
No,
I hear you.
no.
I mean, you ever been so drunk you got hit by a parked car? That's the worst.
You imagine that I got in there quicker. You imagine that I got in that place quicker, so you were rushing to get in there to beat me. Just like when I just decided to fall out the bus.
When you dove out at Preservation Distillery that year, yeah.
Yeah, that was a while back, and
Yeah, and
I don't know what would happen
I was like
now.
4 or 5 steps ahead of you.
I still to this day don't know what the.
And it'd probably be the other way around. I'll be the one diving off the bus. All right, guys. Love you guys.
All right.
Appreciate you.
All right, brother. Have a good one, man.
Take care. Get some rest.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Do some invoices.
Yeah. Put in the system.
Well, I've had an interesting couple of days.
Wonderful.
Teaching a class tomorrow. They've got me teaching TMJ stuff. This is like the 3rd time I've given this lecture to different groups on campus.
Yeah.
But that's all right. It's
That's the
good.
lockjaw thing, right, Randy? Where your jaw locks
It
up?
can, yeah, it certainly can be. Yeah. It can be locked open or closed.
I refer to it as too much
And
Jamocha.
it can be,
It actually.
in my wife's case,
What?
you're breaking up. I didn't hear you.
I said too much
Dude's
Jamocha.
got it out.
TMJ.
Okay.
It was just a joke.
Oh, okay. I tell my wife, I figured it out after you said it again. My wife had some Mike's hard apple cider, and it sent her TMJ. It lit it on fire for like 3 or 4 days.
You shouldn't be drinking.
It was
That's something else.
miserable.
Yeah, Mike's. That's hard cider is like a freaking hangover in a bottle. That's for young people, not your wife. Woo!
Well, this was 5 years ago.
We-
My wife was young 5 years ago.
No, we weren't. No, Randy, we weren't young 5 years ago. I'm sorry. You know, it's funny.
I didn't say we were. I said my wife was.
Even your wife wasn't, but I've been watching a lot of the documentaries like Deborah Harry from Blondie, and I watched the Paul McCartney, and it's amazing how short somebody's shot at being a rock star is. And then they can keep it going, but they're not relevant anymore. Even the Rolling Stones, which is the greatest rock band ever, and they can do stuff and they have stuff. When they were singing "Start Me Up at 40," they were shitting geezer dust. You know what I mean? And yeah, they still were big because they were the Rolling
Yeah.
Stones, but it was nothing like when they were kids. That time when the Beatles were just
No.
it's just that music at that time is always locked there, even nowadays, because it's when kids start to be able to spend their parents' money. And there's so many of them that'll do it on music. You got like a 5-year window at most. And then after that, then people start to like spend their money on other things besides. But music is the first thing as a kid that like the first thing I ever spent my money on was I bought 2 albums, Grease and Boston's Don't Look Back album. Those are the first 2. That's the first time I ever had money to spend on my own, and that's what I bought, 2 albums. People buy, now music's a lot different because you can just do $10 a month or $11 a month and have a subscription to every single release there ever was.
Right, yeah.
Which is insane, but still,
See, I probably bought Led Zeppelin 3 was probably one of the first ones I ever bought.
There you go. And Led Zeppelin is one of the largest
That's a
rock
good album.
bands ever. So they're up there with record sales with the Stones and Elvis. Which nobody you wouldn't think that, but it's a fact. Oh, what did I just
Can you imagine how many people danced to Stairway to Heaven
No,
over the years?
it's so dumb. It's the dumbest. It's the dumbest.
I'm
I
a-
knew it in
What?
1978. Stairway to Heaven is the dumbest. It starts out as a slow dance and then turns into a fast dance. But people who slow dance don't know how to fast dance. And the people who so it's just like you have
Right.
people out there that shouldn't be dancing at one point because the guy will go out there just to slow dance with the girl, and then when it turns into the fast dance, you just got a bunch of people looking like major idiots.
Stoner song, man.
What?
But you
Where
know
the
what?
song goes fast.
We don't care at that point because we've been dancing with her for 4 minutes before it gets there.
You're talking like a nerd.
By
But
that
I'm
time, you got to
talking
jump
like
off
the
the floor and
cool
get a
guys.
water anyway.
The cool guys do care. They did care. And it was so funny as a nerd to watch a cool
Yeah,
guy look
well.
like an idiot. That's why where I always felt that's why I liked it, because I got to watch the long-haired kind of pot guy that's got the hot girl, and then they go out there and then all of a sudden it starts going, and he's like, and you're just laughing your ass off. Yeah, you had the girl to dance with for 3 minutes, but now you look like an idiot, and hopefully she'll leave you.
Yeah, well, actually, what
And
we did
find
was
you.
we walked off the dance floor and went somewhere else. So I think I did all right.
You're
right.
once again.
Exit
when-
stage
And it
left.
was way
Randy-
before.
Randy,
and it was
when
way
you-
before 78.
When you went, mine would have been, let's see, 9th grade. Yeah, it would have been 78. When you went on the dance floor, nobody thought you were cool, so they were okay with you dancing the way you dance fast. I'm talking about the rock guy, the guy,
I didn't dance fast.
I know. They didn't care
Oh.
that you left.
I don't know anything about the rock guy. I was so cool, nobody even cared,
Whatever.
including me.
There's you were cool. You were very, very analytic, and but like I said, but I'm not saying that it was a bad thing. I'm just saying
Nope.
so what were your classes when you were in 9th grade in 1973?
I was in 9th grade in 73. I was in 9th grade in 75.
All right, I missed it by 2
But
years.
I had English. You should have. You weren't a math guy. I didn't expect you'd be able to figure that
You're
out.
close.
I was a total math guy.
I had English, I know that, and I had PE. I had English, I had PE, I had geometry.
You call it PE.
I
You
had
do realize?
biology.
Do you realize you're calling it PE? In 1975, nobody called it PE. They called
We
it
called it back then.
no. We called it gym. It was gym
Well,
class.
it was written on my schedule. It
Is
didn't
that-
say gym. It said physical education.
Yeah, it's
You
a-
asked what I had,
Yes, I
and
know.
I'm telling you what the schedule said.
I know.
Yeah.
I understand what you're telling me. I get it. But did you ever call it gym class?
But yes, I had gym class.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I called it gym class when I wasn't looking at my schedule.
Yeah, I didn't get a schedule till I was in 10th grade because I
Our-
was in junior high and they didn't have schedules. You just watched in junior high for me was
I
just
had
watching
junior high and 7th, 8th grade.
7th, 8th, and 9th grade for me, and then all I did was watch people smoke pot in the homeroom in the morning. And then when I got to school, they were drinking in the parking lot, and when I left school, they were drinking in the parking lot. And I had to ride
Well,
a
that's because
bike.
you weren't at school on a military base like I was.
I had to ride the bus because I had to try and not get, and that was a whole thing of years of trying not to get beat up on the bus.
Did not put Tiny on the short bus. That's a good thing.
Oh, that was crazy.
It's good. Yeah, see, I was on junior high. Our junior high was 6, 7, and 8,
Yeah.
and that was on a military base.
That would be middle school.
So, and my mom, no, it would be, except it said junior high on the
Because
brick.
9th grade, the reason why
Middle school philosophy didn't come around till the 90s.
okay, but the 9th grade, the reason why
I went to
call it-
middle school in 6th grade also.
But see, middle school was 6th, 7th, and 8th because junior high was 7th, 8th, and 9th. And so when you were a freshman, you never went to your high school till your sophomore year. That's kind of why they had it. That's why they call it junior high, because it was still your first
Well,
year of high
that's
school.
that's if you're at a civilian school in Ohio. It's not that way on military schools.
Not
in
civilian,
other
not
places.
civilian school in Ohio. I did not go to civilian school in Ohio. I went to civilian school in Wisconsin. Wisconsin.
Or with, but Kansas,
But you got to admit what I just
I
said. What I just said to you made sense to you, right? Right, Randy? Even though they called it that, the only reason why they called us the junior high is because there was a year of high school that was canceled out on you at the high school. You had to go to a separate school. Then eventually they put the 9th graders at high school, and then they had what they called middle school, which was 6th, 7th, and 8th.
well, and again, it depends. It depends on where you are, because in Arkansas, junior high was 7, 8, and 9. But in Georgia, junior high was 6, 7, and 8. But in Kansas, middle school had 6th graders. So it depends on where you are.
But I agree with what you're saying, okay? Because it's a statement of fact of what they did. But it made no sense to call 6, 7, and 8.
Right. But like,
Junior
for
high,
instance,
because
where I
there's
went
no-
to high school, we didn't, it wasn't called a high school. It was called a secondary school.
Yep.
And it was 7 through 12.
Yeah, different areas of the country had different like grade levels, and then they did call it like a middle school, junior high, high school, secondary.
Or secondary,
Okay.
yeah, and it all depends on the school system.
Yeah, and that's what it was,
Secondary
Randy,
school?
pretty much.
That's insane.
Yeah, because you consider secondary in more modern
I'd
terms.
like to make a
of-
movie with secondary school instead of high school. That would be cool. Back to secondary school. That would be cool. There would be there'd be like
Hey,
secondary.
Randy, let me get your opinion.
But it
Randy.
was also interesting. Because in the same month where I was in a secondary school, which was 7 through 12, they also had junior highs and high schools and middle schools. They had all of it in the same county. Fairfax, of course, it's a huge county. Fairfax County, Virginia is huge.
Sounds like they were all drinking whiskey
Randy,
there.
do you have the Parker's?
Which Parkers?
Probably smoking pot in the 70s.
Yeah, Randy, do you have the Parker's PHC 11-year 25? The Parker's Heritage, the one that just came out this fall, I think it was the 25.
Yeah, I probably got three of them, I think.
Have you sampled it?
Yeah, I like it.
You really like it's
I like it. I don't know. I'd say it's not on 5,
okay.
but I do like it.
Is it worth 2 Weller 12s to get one? In your opinion?
How many Weller 12s do you have?
It costs 2 Weller 12. And 2 Weller 12s cost me $15. That other bottle you're talking about is a $200 bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're also talking.
So it depends on if you like Weller 12. I would rather have the Parkers than 2 Weller 12s. I'm not a huge fan of Weller 12.
Put it this way.
Okay.
Even if you are a fan of Weller 12, he has 3 Weller 12s, so he has one when it's over. So he's not giving up anything. He's giving off 2. That's a much better deal. I would make that deal in a second, John, because you have one. And what did you pay for those Weller 12s?
I'm trying to move. Yeah, I mean, probably $50.
Yeah,
45,
MSRP.
whatever.
Well, and that, if you've got one to keep, if you got a Weller, I mean, I would trade that in a heartbeat because I don't like the Weller 12s that much.
Yeah, I mean,
but if you've got $50 a piece in your Weller 12s, yes, you should make that trade.
Yeah, figure $50
I can
roughly.
tell you, whiskey will take you to task on that. That guy has like 14 Weller 12s, and it's his favorite thing.
Weller 12, but I mean,
well, I've probably got 10 of them, but they're definitely not my favorite thing.
Yeah,
but I pick them up for $50.
Yeah, and so I'm working trades, Randy, too. I'm for Set Other Bottle, and then I just did so this guy that's doing it, I'm trading him Saturday 2 Weller Full Proof straight up for a 4 Roses LE. So I took that deal in a heartbeat.
Which 4 Roses LE?
24.
Yeah, that Brent Elliott is fucking phenomenal from 2024.
So a lot of people say that the 24 is their favorite. I think it's a little more rye, but I like it.
Well, see, I like the rye, so I would take one of those. I don't know if I have a 24. I probably do.
I have.
I think I have a 25.
Stop that.
I have one
Stop
half
that,
open.
Randy. 2025 was last year. In 2024, I spent the night while you got it in the parking lot with you, Walker, and me and Nash. So you have a 2024 unless you drank it.
Well, if that's the one I've got or gave it away.
Wow.
Well, here's my.
But I would have 3 of them because I picked up 2 more when I went to my son's wedding.
Yeah, I mean, here's my theory.
So,
Weller Full Proof, you can get that a few times a year, right? So
I can get it every week.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I can get it 4 times a year. I've got store picks up. I don't have them. I've got store picks, but I can dump 2 standard full proofs for an LE. And those are hard to get. You got to go to the distillery.
They are,
or they come to the liquor store and you got 6 to 12 of them and they're gone.
LE doesn't even.
They are hard to get. That's why I've only got 3 of them.
Yeah, so I pulled that trigger. I'm doing that, and the same guy wants to do a 25 PHC 11-year for 2 12s. So,
well, if you don't want to do that, I'll do that with you.
I'm really thinking about it because that's a bottle I'd like. I've heard it's pretty good.
Well, if you like it, get it. Because you can get Weller 12s.
Yeah.
I probably got.
We walked into Woodman's, remember, fellas?
Hey. Yeah.
Hey, Randy, are you going to get the old Carter release they just announced? You going to get that in your locker?
I was hoping to talk to you about getting that. I was hoping to talk to you about getting it through Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
What do you mean?
Gotten any of the bottles yet? Well, you said we had an account, and you said you and Martin were going to get a couple, and I could get a couple.
Well, that
Have you
one,
gotten anything since you got your
I got all of them. Everything they released since I've
Do
been a
what?
part of it, I've gotten one bottle of it. Actually, I got 2 bottles in Martin when they let us have 2 of the 05 release. I bought one for Martin and one for me. And then I got the Kentucky
because
4.
I haven't gotten an 05.
Yeah, you did. You went down and picked it
I
up.
don't have a Kentucky 40.
No, Kentucky 4
Got
got
the 04, I
released,
didn't
and
get the 05, I
I got
think.
the Kentucky 4, and then they released the Old Carter Club 5 release, and I bought 2 of those for for me, one for Martin, and then now this is the third release that I've been associated with.
They released, I'll have to look at the numbers. Is the OC5, is that a rye?
No, it's a
Okay, well, they
bourbon.
don't.
Because they released a rye, but they released, and that's a hazmat, right?
No, this is not the hazmat. The 05 is not the hazmat. They released the hazmat.
Okay, I may or may not have that then, but
Yeah, you did. You just emptied your locker. You definitely have it. It was the newest release they just had, and you're like, oh, and I got 6 more bottles. I'm sure in there the 05 was there.
I got one. I thought they had an 04 and 05 hit at the same time, and I only got one of them. I didn't get both of them.
Kentucky 4 got released in November. And then just recently, they released the 05, which would have been either early February, late January, and you could buy 2 of them. And I picked one of them up. And then I picked another one up because Nash wanted it, because you could have up to 2. And then I'm sure the last release before this one, you definitely were involved with. It's
Well, I'll walk downstairs and look, but I know one of them. I know.
OC005, and it's a bourbon.
I think I have that one. I don't think I have that one.
All right, I'm gonna bin this guy.
You're gonna what?
Parker
Okay.
shared it's 11. I'm gonna buy it now.
Ben, buy it now.
Bin it, buy it now. 25 PHC, 11 year for 2 Weller 12s. Fuck it.
I would definitely do that if I were you. I know the one he had that they were both hazmats. One was a 4 and one was a 5, and I think I got the 4 and my buddy got the 5. But then I also got the last thing they put out was a rye, and
No.
I picked it up.
The last thing they put out was not a rye.
Do what?
Here's the last thing they put out.
Well,
Club.
you can think what you want, but last Saturday I picked up a rye.
Yeah, but that's not part of the release. Whatever you're doing, they're selling you other shit, Randy.
Yeah.
It's like I know when it comes to Old Carter, this
But
is
you
it.
won't. You're mistaken. When you talk to me about something, and I tell you the way it is, how often have I been wrong on it?
Like 45 times to my 3.
Right.
There's been a couple times, and then all the other times I'm right. Here it is.
You're so.
Here it is.
Okay, that's another time you're wrong. You said that.
I'm not wrong. 50 50C right here was the last release before they just released this one.
I don't see it. Show it.
What? There it is.
Can you show it? See you.
50C.
I don't see you. You're blank.
What?
You're not on the screen. You are not on my screen.
But you can
You're
hear
frozen.
me. Here, I will go
I hear
out.
you, but I can't see the bottle.
Hold on.
Oh, here's my old card. Oh, look, here's my old cards. I don't know what I've got.
Because that's exactly it.
I've got a 15, which I got.
Yeah, but 15's their ultimate. Okay,
Got a 15.
Randy, there's a difference. I'm talking about the club releases. I'm not talking about just general releases.
Right.
The 14 and 15 got released,
I know what you're talking about.
but this club release of 50,
Got an OC3.
Yeah.
Listen, Jeff, shut up for a second. Just
Oh,
quit talking.
OC.
I will solve the problem. I can look at my account and tell you everything I bought.
Yeah.
Stifle, Edith.
But
And you can argue with me, but it'll be in writing.
it doesn't matter.
So
I
give me a
know
second to pull it
I
up.
could look at my email and tell you what the last email was, what was available before this one. I got it. I'm in the club. Awesome.
The club. What's the matter? Huh? What's the matter? Oh, I know, Heck.
Give me just a second. Do have to find reference to the name club though.
I'll go outside again. Fine, right?
You joined before me. So you put a lot of shit in your locker before I ever did, but that's the ancient past. Five OC bourbon.
This one from Thornton is
Yeah. That's cool.
6 proof, and it's got pecans in it, and the pecans are from the only pecan farm in Illinois.
Yeah, their pecan flavored whiskey is phenomenal. Where did Randy go?
This is good, and I'm like, for 86 proof, it's pretty good. He's around. But yeah, this was like, I don't know, 40 some bucks. It wasn't bad.
I got that.
Pretty good. I just cracked it tonight. I sampled it. You got the dead drop?
Yeah, I got that pecan dead drop, and then I got their bourbon dead drop when I went. Ari, I gotta see him one of these times.
He's killing it.
Yeah, they do a good job. You gotta get there because it's the coolest freaking distillery.
Oh, I know. That's where they found the Capone gun.
Yeah, but they got this limestone.
When you guys come in.
Yeah, we tried last time. We ended up at Koval.
Yeah. It's the biggest. We're the limestone. That area is the limestone capital of the world. So
that's the biggest,
or at least in the country.
That is the biggest quarry in the country, and they are like balancing on the edge.
And they got their own little spring. So.
Oh, you go down there?
It's great.
It's like it's like a brick limestone cavern, all whatever, and they do concerts in there, and they got it all locked up. I did a bunch of shorts on that were pretty cool. I think we lost.
I know we're in March, so we'll have to figure out what we're going to do for dates for baseball and stuff. But like, if we could set that up, and then if there's a way to get you in here on a Thursday and then do something maybe on a Thursday if Ari's available. But that dude, Andrew said, let me know. He says, text me, call me. I'm like, Jeff. He goes, yeah, there's something in 2023. You guys may have met up or did something. And then,
yeah, we went to, it was February. Okay. It would have been February of 23 because me and CT went to Galena Whiskey Festival, and on our way back, we stopped there. Randy's back.
Because that festival is always like first part of March or something.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but anyway, I ordered the 50C on March 4th.
Yeah, I know. You got it when you went down to.
So I don't have it.
Wait.
No, I don't have it.
Okay, so
it says it will be delivered March 10th. This is not March 10th yet.
Oh, hang on.
You ordered it a couple days ago. I picked mine up when I picked mine up when
correct.
And you were there. So you ordered it after you were there.
Correct.
Okay, cool. The 50C, I got to taste. Well, you probably ordered it because you got to taste it, right?
I guess I did. I don't know if I did or not. I probably did. I tasted a bunch of stuff.
What were you with Brian when you were there?
Tried not to be.
at the club?
No, I was with Brian some. I was with Mark at the
Same
club.
guy. Broken, heavy bottom.
Okay, you're right. You
Why
went to
not?
the club.
Brian
'cause-
was running around. I was with Mark. I went to the club and I went to the warehouse.
Okay. I was at the club with Brian
And I
then
tried-
met Christy and Mark at not at the warehouse, at the bottling plant. Right? You went over to the bottling plant?
That's
They call
the,
it
the thing that says fried chicken or something.
yeah, that they call that their bottling plant. That's where they actually have a
Right.
bottling
But-
plant that
but
they
he
bottle
called it
for
the-
other people.
Well, he called it the warehouse where I was.
Okay.
But it's the thing that says chicken on the front door.
Yeah, it's where they do.
I did that. I tried the 20-year, which is coming out. I tried, and that's the one I was hoping I could get the extra one for, because I like that one.
You get one
And
20-year, and we get.
I bought one of their wines.
I didn't buy anything. they had Christy.
And I started to buy 3 liters of their 3-liter wine. Christy, what?
Christy was like, "This one's for you." So they did one for me, and then she's like, she gave me a 375 of the 2005 Carter Cellars, which I have, which I'm gonna save till my daughter gets up here so we can drink that, because that's some crazy ass stuff going on. And 2005, a wine from 2005.
That's the 20. Is that the 20? Oh, the wine. Yeah.
Yeah, the wine from the Carter
No,
Cellars from 2005, and so I'm like, Mark is like, well, have them have this from 2015, but then that's one of our best years, and then he's like, but make sure they get some of the 2005. I'm like, my God. I'm excited about that. And then I'm supposed to have my daughter taste it with me, because she's making wine in Portland and they're definitely interested in her. Yeah,
Cool.
so the 05 I was able to pick up, which was the last release, and then I also got the Kentucky 4, and you got a Kentucky 4 too, right?
I think I got a Tennessee 4, but I bought that here. I'm not sure if I have a Kentucky 4.
Because that was the release before the
I would have to
05.
pull up.
I hope you got the Kentucky 4, because I got it.
Again, I did not.
You did not get the old Carter 5. I know you bought it when you were there. Why are you missing the releases online?
Because I'm busy. And some of them sell out and literally
no, they don't sell out. I mean, I bought them. They don't sell out. They're good. And it's funny that you say what are you
the
busy?
one that I got.
The 05 didn't sell out. You got one.
Sorry, what?
The 05, which you
I know.
which you could get.
I'm talking about the thing that they had. The thing that they had, the 2 hazmats, they sold out before the second.
Yeah, the hazmat sold out.
Matter of fact, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that you could even get to. I think it was one or the other, but I'm not sure of that. Because my friends and I were looking at it, but I did not. But I wasn't on immediately. They were sold out of the one I wanted, and I got the other one.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
If you could turn your camera on and off, I don't know if that'll fix your pause.
Hold on, let me see.
Video, I'm
I'm
not sure.
gonna do this.
If you turn the recording off, that might fix it.
Yeah, I would take the recording out. That could do it too, yeah.
People don't need to be sitting here
Recording
listening to us fuss about whiskey
And then,
and wine.
yeah,
Put it this
and
way.
everything else.
Hey, we're still live on both.
Yeah,
so
but I still can't see you at all.
Hold on.
Yeah, well, I can't see you, so I imagine they can't either.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just a pause.
it's-
It's just,
I
it's
can see
internet
that.
or Zoom/internet.
Here you go. There you go. I made you the host, John. I'm gonna leave
Okay.
and come back in. Come on. Zoom, 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 zoom.
Let him in, did you?
Well, he jumped on.
I'm on.
Oh, I don't see him.
He's
Still,
in. Yeah,
I hear you.
I see your still shot.
I just see your name.
There he is.
You can see me now?
Oh, now I see you.
Okay.
He's still moving
Yep.
like a mouse, but that's cool.
I'll stay a participant.
It's probably your internet. Yeah. It's probably your internet, dude. It is what it is.
Yeah, because the whole thing's been blurry the whole night and it's been irritating me. It's better though.
Okay.
That's a
It's
little
the
bit
Canton
better.
internet, man.
So which bottle did you do the barrel bottle breakdown on? The ones that you guys got? The single barrels that you guys got? Fill your own or something else?
No, we did the barrel bottle breakdown on the Michter's 2019 limited release toasted barrel finish sour mash whiskey.
Okay.
Nash gave me this for Christmas in 2020.
Yeah, I don't have.
Well, I don't either anymore, Randy.
Okay, cool.
See? There.
You killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one I don't have, Jeff. I got just the straight toasted barrel finish. This one's pretty good. So
Toasted
I have a sour mash, but I don't think it's.
Yeah.
no, yeah. I got this year.
I will just be glad to get all my stuff together. Yeah, that's a toasted barrel sour mash. That's good.
How long do you got to wait to do that, Randy? Still got a few months.
No, I close on the house on the 23rd, so I'll probably sometime around the 1st of the month, I'll bring all this stuff up. I've got stuff sitting in my expedition because I don't have any place to put it. I just hope it doesn't get too hot. It's going to be 85,
Oh, jeez.
but I got a mattress sitting on top of it, so it shouldn't pop open
Yeah.
It's just like
unless it's really short barrels.
Yeah, it's starting to warm up.
If it gets the
Yeah.
only risk that you have of heat for whiskey, and it's what I found, is if the cork pops. But other than that, it's just what whiskey does. It gets hot and it gets cold. People like to try and say, "Oh,
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. I just hope the cork doesn't pop.
yeah, as long as your corks don't pop, you're good. Doesn't wreck the whiskey. It's like
I
it's
picked
almost
up
ridiculous when people suggest that heat or sunlight wreck whiskey. I'm just like, you guys, shut up. It's just like think about shipping whiskey bottled to the distributor, then the distributor stores it in a hot freaking warehouse for a couple months. Then they ship it on a box truck, not refrigerated in the heat, and then it gets on your shelf.
Yeah, but it's the light I could see because they're in a box for all their storage time, so they don't get light to them. But once you put them on I could see how light could be a problem.
What would like
unless they're some of them are in dark bottles.
What would like do to whiskey?
Go.
It's not going to wreck the whiskey.
It could.
I mean, yeah, if you left it in sunlight, if you like took it outside and let sunlight hit it every single day, 100 degrees and whatever, sure, I'll give you that. But just like being in your car a little bit or whatever, it's like light is not going to wreck whiskey.
Well, depends on, like you said, it depends on how much light. If you don't have any place, like a lot of our places that we don't have curtains. So that's why I'm trying to I'm gonna put curtains up in my whiskey room.
What do you think light's gonna do to the whiskey? I'm just curious. I'm not saying one way or another. I'm just like, is it gonna fade the color?
I have been told that it can break it down. I don't know. I mean, I would have to ask somebody that knows more about it than me.
I think
A lot of times that's why they put beer in dark glass so the sun doesn't affect
beer.
it. So I think you're right, Randy.
I agree. Beer is and wine are way less stable than whiskey. You know what I mean? They're not. Their whole idea of beer
That's
and
true.
wine is not to put them in a barrel and let them age 50 years like what they do. I mean, whiskey is it's way different than beer and wine. I agree with you on beer and wine. I mean,
True.
that's why they always put it in the dark. And then Miller High Life came out with it, you know, and they're just like, you know, now there's expiration dates. I've got a beer from 1996, a light beer from
Drink it fast.
where the Green Bay Packers won the Super Bowl, and I bet you I popped that baby out. But the crazy thing is that it'll actually erode, the beer will erode the can and make it thin and start to leak.
Let's say like that Billy beer from 1976.
Now that's the fucking funniest thing that you've ever said. You brought up Billy beer. Oh, the last time the liberals wrecked the country.
Ever had it?
What? Yeah, I actually had Billy beer in my beer can collection when I was a kid.
No, and Epstein? No, never mind.
Oh God, don't even go there right now.
I was thinking Willie, not Billy. My bad.
Has anybody had Willie Nelson's tonic?
Jeff gets me.
Has anybody had Willie Nelson's tonic yet?
Oh,
I did.
He sells it.
THC.
No, he sells this tonic, and he's, you know, the guy is like an Energizer bunny. There's no way Willie Nelson should still be on this planet at 92, but he is.
All that weed he smokes.
Are you sure? He just says he's 92. I look at him, he looks 137. But he's looked that old for 20 years.
I've known him. I watched him. He used to jog. He didn't smoke cigarettes. He smoked a lot of weed, but he stayed away from the coke, that's for sure. It's like Waylon Jennings didn't stay away from the coke.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I remember had to be almost the time, had to be like 1980, and there was a Howard Johnson by the airport in Milwaukee, and they finished up, and the bus was getting ready to go, and my mom and dad were going to follow it to Illinois, so we were waiting, and he never got on the bus. So the bus starts to pull out, and we're like in the line of, there's like 2 or 3 people following behind the bus. And out of nowhere, Willie comes running up in his jogging suit, and just, he had gone for a run, and he just then hops on the bus. It was a maroon 19.
Later, dudes, I'll get in the shower in the back.
Yep. Yep. It was one of the coolest memories I have. It's like, he's a jogger. It's like Willie jogs. He had his hair in a ponytail. He had a baseball cap on. Comes up in his 1980 Nike.
Wearing Adidas back then too.
It was probably an Adidas jogging suit, but I think he was wearing Nike
Tracksuit. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
Oh, okay.
It was bizarre. It's like, that's the first time I realized that.
Then New Balance was really good.
No way there was no New Balance in 1980.
You realize what?
Not yet. There was no way that I thought that Willie Nelson
I was wearing them.
was not in 1980. Barely was
If
Nike.
so, it was
Yeah.
small, but
Quit arguing.
Nike was just.
there's Reebok. There was Reebok for sure.
There was Tigers, which became a Sika. There was Nike. The first pair of Nike waffles, like that I ever had, would have been 7th grade, which would have been 1976. I mean, Nike was even barely out in 1980. You know what I mean? Nike didn't really hit its stride till right when Michael Jordan was doing his shit.
The late 80s, yep.
I remember my mom buying me that pair of,
We
pair
weren't
of
talking.
running shoes. Yeah.
We weren't talking
Okay,
about
wait,
Nikes.
Wait.
We were talking about New
Yeah.
Balance.
All right, we'll talk about New Balance right now. Here we go. Hey, Meta. Hey, Meta, are you there? Hold on. Come on. Hey, Meta. Trying to get her to go. It is.
I can hear you, but I can't see anybody. Yeah, if you're having trouble getting on Meta with your glasses,
It's fucked up. I guarantee you, I go upstairs and my wife is doing something. All right, let's go. And she wants to start. That's crazy. All right, hold on. Let's do this. Plus. All right, we'll do a search.
I've already done it. It was New Balance was founded in 1906 in Boston by Irish immigrant William J. Riley
Okay.
as the New Balance Arch Support Company.
That's awesome.
What year
The
did
first shoe was 1960, the Trackster.
You need to go lay down. Come on.
Go lay down.
The 990 didn't come out until 1982, though.
Here we go.
But you had to have bucks to get the 990.
Well, on that one, you're right. I was right on the old Carter, but on that one, it's like the New Balance came out in 1976.
You weren't right on the old Carter because you
was
weren't right on the old
absolutely
Carter
right.
because you
No.
said I had already had it, and I don't
I
have
never
it.
said anything about you having
No,
it.
I don't
Randy.
have it.
I said it was the last release.
Yes, you
before
did. That's
this
what I was telling
one.
you. I didn't have it.
But I was telling you it was the last release before this one. And
I
you
have
told
been,
me,
but I didn't have it.
well, whether you have it or not, I was telling
Are you there?
I could care. You're not there. I'm here. He's gone.
I can't see me. That's what I'm saying. I can't see me.
I know.
I
Get
can
your
see
face
you
on the
now.
pillow,
Tiny, I
Randy.
can see you now.
Randy's got to go to bed, man.
Yeah, I know. It's like he's
I
like
couldn't
he
see Tiny,
chases
but I
an
can
argument.
now.
Yes, but I'll give you the 320 New Balance was there, but nobody. I mean, you might have. Just that's crazy. That I guess that one I remember New Balance starting in like further on into the mid 80s. It was the shoe that,
The 82 is when the 990 came out, and that was the coolest one.
yeah, and that was the shoe you bought if you didn't get Nikes. I remember that. Because everybody wanted Nikes, right?
And it was also like $100 to get one of them. It was crazy expensive.
Yeah, and Nike wasn't. It was $32.
$100 for a pair of shoes was crazy. Yeah,
Yes, you're
Nike
right,
was not
Randy.
that expensive back then.
Oh, I will tell you, my mom thought $32 for a pair of running shoes was like breaking the bank. She gave me shit about getting me that first pair. She did it, but she did not want to.
Yep.
When she looked at me
You
and
got to
said,
hit the old Bombergers up here again.
I think I just, I don't even know what I just hit.
I don't know, but she looked at me and said, and that was the last thing I heard.
Am I moving now? It's just like, what is with the internet? All right.
Very,
Anyways, you guys, it's got to be
It's
close
pokey.
to 11, right? Yeah, I gotta go. Anyways, I'll
4
look.
minutes till.
Perfect timing. I'll head up and John, you still
We'll
have
see
it.
you guys.
I'll end
We'll
it.
see you guys later.
You can end it on Facebook.
I shall.
And
All right, Facebook. Thanks for tuning in.
and I'll end it on YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks for tuning
Yeah.
in.
Y'all have a